What's going on, everybody? This is The Ride, and you're tuning in to the Late Night Ride here on the Blunts and Discussions channel. And tonight we're going to be talking about why Carlee Russell is full of shit. The more that I look into this case, the more red flags are popping up. It seems like it's a Jussie Smollett or Juicy Smoothie, if you're a Dave Chappelle fan, all over again. And I'm going to give y'all a little bit of a background on this situation and then express my opinion as to why things aren't adding up. So allegedly all this happened in Hoover, Alabama. Carlee Russell calls 911 and she calls her sister on the phone and says, "Hey, I see a toddler on the side of the road wearing nothing but a diaper and a t-shirt." They got video footage at the time where she got out the car and everything. It's pretty obvious you can see there ain't no goddamn toddler on the side of the road. But the video does show that she pulled over, got out the car, walked behind the car to the passenger side. She's standing there for maybe, 20, 30 seconds, and then she disappears from view. Now, her sister says that whole time when she had got out the car and walked around that she was on the phone with her. Her sister says that Carlee screamed into the phone and then she wasn't there anymore. Where did she go? The video doesn't show her walking off. It doesn't show anything. Do you really believe a UFO came out from the sky and brought her off to another planet for 48 hours and then dropped her back off at her mom and dad's house? Or do you think that a sex trafficker put a child out there, a toddler, on the side of the highway for bait, hoping that a woman would pull over, snatch her and the toddler up, disappear off into the darkness? Nobody knows where. She's gone for 48 hours. Think about this, y'all. This is the same type of shit that magicians do, okay? And I'm not saying she's a magician. I'm saying the camera's playing tricks on you. The angle of the camera counts. The blurriness of the camera counts. The shadows, the lights, the flashing lights. All these things count into creating an illusion that looks like somebody just up and vanished in thin air. That's what happened. Nobody snatched them up. There was no toddlers. There's no nothing. You got a whole bunch of police officers out there, detectives, private investigators, all this. Nobody's finding anything. No tracks, no prints, no signs of a struggle, no nothing. And, and of course, her parents come to her defense and they say, yeah, she had to physically fight to survive. She had to mentally fight to survive. You're her parents and you want to believe your child. But you know what? It's like Dave Chappelle said.
None of these details added up at all.
And here's another red flag that I noticed. Why haven't the police put out a sketch of what the abductor looks like? Why haven't they put out a sketch of what the toddler looks like? You know why they didn't do that? Because they don't exist. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. Not on camera, not from her statements. I guarantee you the police are doing interviews with them day and night. And this shit is not lining up.
None of these details added up at all.
They don't believe her. And you can say, well, that's because she's black. They don't believe her. Man, bruh, if there's an abductor in your neighborhood, a kidnapper, they kidnap white women, white kids, all types of shit too. They're not gonna do their job because she's black. And if they are racist, you think they're gonna allow some kidnapper to be out here and kidnap a white little girl? Kidnap a white woman? Because Carlee told the police that it was a little white toddler on the side of the road wearing nothing but a diaper and a t-shirt. How fast you think these racist motherfucking police will be putting out APBs left and right? Amber alert, Amber alert, Amber alert. Nope, none of that. Why? Because they don't believe that shit. And here's the last red flag that I find with this situation. She was only at the hospital for less than a day. That means that the motherfucking doctors and everybody thought that, hey, she's in a good enough mental state that she can go home. Usually when that type of shit happens, you got kidnapped, abducted, all this, man, you're going to be in there for at least 4 or 5 days at a minimum, guaranteed. They're going to be asking you questions. They're going to be looking at your mental well-being, all that, how you eat, how you sleep. They are going to study and monitor you. But they let her go within 24 hours. That's a clear indication that they don't believe that shit either. No physical fighting, no nothing. They didn't get no DNA from under you. Where was your struggle at? Her parents said she had to physically fight. They would have got the DNA from under your fingernails, off of your body. They would have went through the fibers of your hair, everything. They didn't find anything, which means the doctors didn't believe you. The investigators didn't believe you. The police don't believe you. The only people that believe you are your parents. And I'm sure they're in denial and they probably have their own little questions and they're thinking, yeah, this shit ain't lining up.
None of these details added up at all.
I bet you that within the next month, at the very latest, we'll find out more details. The truth always comes out. Darkness always comes to light. Every time. And speaking about the truth, look what just popped up. Let me see if I can pull this up on the screen for y'all. Yep, look at this bullshit right here, man. Police in Alabama have released new details in their investigation into the disappearance of 25-year-old Carlee Nicole Russell. Basically says, in the days before her disappearance, she searched for information on her cell phone about Amber Alerts. She looked for a movie about a woman's abduction and a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham, Alabama to Nashville, Tennessee. Her phone also shows that she traveled about 600 yards while telling the 911 operator she had followed a 3 or 4-year-old child in a diaper on the side of the highway. If you're a smart person, you could tell, like, nah, this story's not lining up. But when you start turning into a black or white issue, it clouds your judgment. For a lot of people, it clouds judgment. This ain't had nothing to do with black or white. And the bottom line here is what happened is this girl messed around and made some plans to probably slide out of town and meet up with somebody else. On the low, it's backfiring on her. Now you gotta lie to your mom, your dad, the public, everybody, to cover up your stupid lies, and it's all starting to backfire. That's why her parents haven't come out with any details. That's why the police haven't come out with any details, because there's no details to come out with. But your phone is starting to tell on you, sweetheart, already. You're fucked up. And that's my take on the late night ride.